UFP, the United Federation of Podcasts.
Engage.
78 years have passed since the days of the original USS Enterprise. Now a new Galaxy starship has been designed.
Transporter Chief, beam our listeners aboard. Welcome to Galaxy Class, a Star Trek Next Generation podcast on the United Federation of Podcast Network. I am Counselor Amy Nelson, and with me today, Diplomatic Standard Bearer Kevin Scharf. Kevin, hello.
Hello. It's good to be back.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very good. And we have, let's see, are we head of astrophysics, Joe Keegan?
Do you know what? I don't even know, Amy, what I am. I didn't even know it was Saturday and we were supposed to be recording a podcast up until like 45 minutes ago. So when you're a teacher and you're on holiday, one day is the same as the other. I think I thought it was Thursday.
Oh, dear. You wanted to do New Year's Eve again, it sounds like.
What, was that Thursday? Okay, that's
yes,
fine.
It was.
Interestingly, we call New Year's Eve Hogmanay in Scotland. Hogmanay. Hogmanay.
Why is that?
I have no idea.
I know this,
I knew this question was coming as soon as the word came out of my mouth, and I was like, I don't really know. It's probably an old Scots word. Let's go with that. It's an
Probably.
old Scots word.
Let's go with that.
Yeah. Do you know what I had to Google when I go back to school?
Are you going back on the 4th, Monday?
No, we're going back on the 6th, Wednesday.
Man.
I know.
How is it that you actually have more days off than I do? This is, I think, a first.
When was the last time you went to your building?
When I went to my building,
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, that was...
Was it even 2020?
November before
See,
Thanksgiving.
don't talk about having time off. You've just been sitting in your house.
Oh
Yeah.
my...
Yes.
Teaching from home.
I know it's... The good thing is you can drink while you type at them, like, do your homework. Do this. Y equals mx plus c. Slurp.
I deny and cannot confirm that allegation.
Oops.
All right, well, let's check the communication array to see if we have any comments from our listeners.
Logs accessed.
So we have Chrissie De Clerck-Szilagyi commenting on our last Batleth battle where we talked about man of the people versus frame of mind. And Chrissie writes, about the towels after the Makbara exercise, I always assumed that was a holodeck and the last person out closes the programs, which includes the towels. It's arguably still rude. So yes, you should clean up after yourself. It's a very good litmus test when you go to the grocery store and you see which people actually return the cart to the correct spot, or are they just lazy and leave it out in the middle of the parking lot?
Ooh,
Very annoying.
That doesn't happen over here. Not that I've seen anyway. Maybe it's an American thing.
It is. We are so lazy. It's very annoying. I'm like, you can't just walk a couple spots down and put it in the shopping cart holder.
And that's a really interesting point, Chrissy, that you make. It hadn't occurred to me that might be a holodeck program, the Mokbara Suite, the Gymnasium.
Uh-oh.
But I think the Enterprise D does have gymnasia on it.
I think there's 2.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when we did our blueprints? Yeah.
I think that's... I remember vividly. Yeah, but it's still... would you clean up after yourself if it was a holodeck program? I don't think
You just turn it off, wouldn't you? That's what I would think.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to clean up.
All right. Kevin?
So, about episode 20, our Christmas Gifts episode, Vera Bible said, I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. You all had such great ideas. Joe, your idea of getting Beverly a proton pack, and Rhea, your idea of getting Worf a photo of Alexander with that caption made me laugh out loud. While I couldn't think of gifts for everyone, I'd get Picard Shakespeare's first folio, Riker a trip to New Orleans Jazz Fest, Data, the Bob Ross Joy of Painting box set. I think it would be good for him to learn that there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. Troy, a week or two at a spa or wellness center. She spends all her time putting others first, so I think she should get time when others are putting her first. And Beverly, a VIP experience with the Rockettes. I didn't think the Rockettes would still be around in the 24th century. That's a very long-lasting tradition.
I like that Bob Ross Joy of Painting box set. It's hilarious. Bob Ross did make it over to these parts, so I get the reference. That's good gift choices there, Vera.
Yes, I love that. And a jazz festival, perfect for Riker because he's social. He would enjoy that completely. So great gift ideas, Vera. Thank you for sharing.
Were the Rockettes at Carnegie Hall? Were they the resident?
Radio City Music Hall.
Oh, yes. Yeah, no, you're right. That's got the wrong place. Cool. And another message from Chrissie De Clerck-Szilagyi. I don't know about the Barbers, but I assume the issue between Turkey and Greece is related to the War for Independence from the Ottoman Empire in 1831. Ria can correct me if I'm wrong. As for ethnically appropriate placement and amounts of hair, my Italian half commiserates with you. That kind of puts it in perspective, doesn't it? I had no idea there was a war for independence and something about the Ottoman Empire. So that's good. Trust Chrissie to put our history knowledge right.
Yes, she's very good at doing that. So thank you again, Chrissie.
This is the captain. Senior officers will report to my ready room immediately.
Well, today we are going to continue our What If series. This is a fun series that we just get to talk about what if scenarios. And listeners, we would love it if you would comment and give us some more of your ideas of what you think would be fun or what if scenarios. So we have a couple that we're going to go over. So my dear co-host, Joe and Kevin, what if?
Can I say this is my first what if?
Really?
Yeah, I've never done a what if before. It was I think it was Ria instead of me last time.
Okay.
So,
yeah, this is my second one. Kevin,
I think it was Pierre. Yeah, I think it was
it?
Pierre,
Okay.
actually. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you, me, and Pierre. So what if the Enterprise D had been destroyed during the series? And when would it happen? Like how or which episode? What do you think? When would be an appropriate time to destroy the Enterprise D?
Well, it's not like we didn't see the Enterprise D get destroyed several times during the course of the show. What if instead of saving the ship on the last loop of cause and effect, they all had enough time to get to escape pods and they got rescued by the Bozeman?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that could have been fun. I think though, you know, Star Trek The Next Generation was based on the original Star Trek, which is about a ship going off into space and doing its thing. Today, on a current Star Trek, I could see this happening to the Discovery, to whatever the name of the ship is, La Serena on Picard, you know, or even the Cerritos on lower decks. It could happen, and the things could, because we're more into continuing storylines, right? So with Next Gen, though, we're about this ship, and a lot of it comes down to cost, you know, having to rebuild an entire set or a model. So it's highly unlikely this would ever happen, but it could have been fun to see the whole sort of rebuilding, bringing the crew back together. That kind of storyline would have been interesting, but not something I would ever have expected to see on 80s or 90s Trek.
That's a very good point. I did go down the same lines thinking what it would be like if it was done in the 80s or 90s and what it would be like now, and they're very, very different storylines.
Mm-hmm.
I think if it was done now, yeah, there would be that whole serialization. There would be like half a season on Picard's court-martial about why he got the ship destroyed. Because, you know, if you lose a ship, you automatically go through a court-martial. There would be another half a season of them trying to find a new ship or kind of get the crew back together because they've all been a bit like in Redemption Part 2, where they've all been given command of different ships to make up the tachyon web, they'd all be kind of separated, and Captain Picard would be fighting to get them all back together. If it was back in the 80s or 90s, the episode, the ship gets destroyed, everybody's safe on escape pods, and then the episode resolves in some way, and then in the next episode, the ship's fine. The ships, because it just resets after that one cycle.
They just took an identical ship and renamed it.
Like what happened in Deep Space Nine, the USS Sao Paulo, after the Defiant got destroyed, got renamed Defiant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that part of the story.
Yeah, it was after the Breen got brought in to the Dominion War and basically smashed up the Defiant. They got destroyed, and then the head of Starfleet ship naming allowed them to rename the Sao Paulo the Defiant. Okay.
So, Kevin, you would do around Cause and Effect season 5.
Yeah. You've got to make it late enough in the run of the show that people have become attached to the ship so that there's an emotional payoff when it happens. Like, you want people to be devastated when the ship blows up. And it would have been a real punch in the gut if it had happened during Cause and Effect, right? Because of the way that episode was set up. You knew that every time you saw it get destroyed, that it was going to be fine at the end. They were going to figure it out. If they hadn't, that would have been a real kick in the gut for how emotional that would have been. It would have been like, I don't know. I just would have been destroyed if that had happened.
Yeah, I can totally see that playing out, and still going through the loops and then finally figuring it out. And it's like, we need to protect the crew. So get them off, shuttles as much as possible and do another loop. And then have the Bozeman just like save them, but then we lose the Enterprise.
Or the other possibility is the whole ship is not destroyed. It's just the star drive section gets destroyed and everybody still remains on the saucer section. So what do they do with a Galaxy class saucer section? Do they get a Galaxy class star drive section, or do they do something else over the course of the season? I was thinking about when it happens, and my mind kept on jumping to Cause and Effect or disaster where the ship was nearly destroyed. I think that's a natural kind of thing to jump to when the ship either does or nearly gets destroyed, then resets. But I was trying to think of occasions where the ship, like Moriarty, could have destroyed the ship when he's in control on the holodeck, or could have been Q, just because he was a bit spiteful. Said, yeah, okay, Picard, you love this ship. I'm taking it from you. Boom.
Okay. As you were talking, I came up with one.
Okay.
I mean, I have another one, but now I have two. So, yes, like that, what about if in Starship Mine, like you're saying, because they evacuated the ship and they actually were successful in stealing the Enterprise D. And so then we had to get a new ship because the Enterprise D is now gone.
Which one was Starship Mine?
The Die Hard movie, the one with Tim Russ.
Picard as a badass action hero.
And they're doing the barium sweep.
Oh,
and Picard goes back to get his saddle.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, and they...
Hi, I'm Hutch.
Or what if, another possibility where it could have happened is one of the multiple times where they induced an auto-destruct sequence, and then always at that very nick of time, the problem was solved and they could shut it down. What if the problem didn't get solved, and the only way they could resolve the crisis was to allow the auto-destruct of the ship to happen? Then it would be interesting sort of following that court-martial procedure. Why did you blow up your own ship? Was there no other choice? Because that happened at least a couple of times on Next Gen with the Binars when they were there. And there was at least one more time, I think, when that happened where they were prepared to blow up their own ship.
What's that one where it's Riker and It's like, does the second officer confirm? Yes.
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 Definitely so. Yes. Right now. Stop.
I wholeheartedly agree. Yeah,
Yes.
that's funny.
A simple yes would be fine.
Yeah.
Number one.
That was Where Silence Has Lease with Nagilum.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good.
Yeah. And those are season 1 episodes, though, Kevin.
Yeah, I know. It's very early.
Yeah.
They never went back to that well. Where Silence Has Lease is season 2, actually.
Right.
It's the very beginning of season 2.
Yeah.
But
I think even by. I know a lot of people didn't like the Enterprise initially. Just thought it looked weird. But like, see, I know I'm speaking with hindsight. It's just a beautifully designed ship. There's just nothing not to like about it. It's a big cruise ship in space, but it's just so organic looking. I really enjoy it. So I think if you did like it back, even season 1, even Encounter at Farpoint, when you get to see like the saucer separation, it was like, whoa, this is cool. We've advanced since the original series. Then there might have still been a bit of an emotional investment, possibly. Not so much.
Well, and TNG did programmable matter first, right? With the separating of the nacelles that Discovery has. We really did it first. Because we could separate.
Programmable matter. What even is programmable matter? And that there was something in Discovery, like, you can edit this out, it's just aside, this is me complaining about Discovery again. They mentioned something. Was it Stamets or somebody that mentioned something? And I was like, that doesn't sound as cool as matter energy conversion, which is how replicators and transporters work. You just use raw energy and you convert it into matter. Sounds cool. We don't know how to do it.
It is.
Rather than having some kind of matter and turning it into some other kind of matter.
Oh, that was the Admiral in last week's episode. That was
Admiral Vance.
Admiral Vance, where he was telling Osira the reason that the apples don't taste good is because they use matter that came from.
Oh yeah, and I was like, that's just so same. I mean,
he's destroying his crown, listeners.
yeah, that kind of annoyed me. I was like, really, we're not on a kind of 1990s space shuttle mission where we have to recycle our urine. It's 1,000 years in the future, goodness sake.
Yeah, but it's recycling, reuse, reduce.
No,
it's got to go somewhere.
But no, the point is that if you replicate a dish to eat and you don't finish it, you put it back in the replicator and the replicator converts it back into energy. It's obviously going to use some energy, but it's not, you're not using your own poop. Annoyed me.
I think we should move on from this topic.
Yes.
We've gotten way off track.
Okay, so my real answer
yes, please.
is season 7. Mm-hmm. So I agree with you, Kevin. I think that if we did destroy the Enterprise D, it would need to be later because we have that attachment to the ship. And I think it would be interesting if we lost the ship during the Pegasus.
Get stuck in the asteroid?
Yeah. And I was thinking that they knew that they had to go into the asteroid by using that cloaking, to go through the rock. But unlike what they did on the real series, separating the saucer so that you didn't endanger the entire crew and just taking the star drive in. But then we have the Romulans who are going to capture the saucer section. So when they go in with just the star drive, they go in, they see, and they're hiding. And then when they come out, they see that the saucer section has been taken captive and the Romulans destroy the star drive, but still have the saucer. And so then would they replace the star drive or would they just replace the whole ship? So that would be interesting. I don't know.
I think it would be easier to replace just the star drive, wouldn't it? Because it's a Galaxy-class starship. It's there's a set of plans for it. You just have to make a part of it and not the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be easier. But I like that idea. I like that idea.
But yeah, I love the Pegasus. I think that's so interesting, and sort of get the Romulans involved with them destroying it or something like that.
I kind of like the idea rather than they come out of the asteroid and the Romulans destroy it. I kind of like it. They get partially out, and then the device fails and leaves like the rear section of the star drive section kind of half inside the asteroid.
Yeah, just like what happened on the original ship that they were going in to save. All right. I like that too.
I don't know Pegasus well enough. I haven't watched it in a long time to make a really good comment about that. But I think with sort of the moral quandaries that Riker was in at the time, it would have left him in an interesting place if the ship had been destroyed there too.
Yeah, because then he would have that guilt on top of already, being undercover with what was his name? Captain that guy.
Who was Admiral, that guy.
Pressman.
Pressman. Are there any other times where we could have seen the Enterprise destroyed? My mind's kind of fixated on it.
Oh, well, there's so many.
I know, I literally could have chose my time.
Worlds.
Yeah, best of both. Kevin Uxbridge could have snapped his fingers and destroyed the Enterprise.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of episodes that seem sort of minor in the scope of things, but where tragedy could have happened if things had gone a different way. Any Q episode could have led to the destruction of
Drumhead.
the ship.
The ship could have been destroyed before Drumhead, and that's why they have all the inquests with Admiral Nora Sati, but on a starbase.
All righty. Well, next question for you. And I'm definitely going to be relying on you guys because this involves an original series character. What if Gene Roddenberry didn't have that crazy idea of separating Next Gen with the original series? And what if Kirk had showed up? When, how, what episode, when would we have liked to have seen Captain Kirk?
I'm kind of okay with not seeing him. I'm like, Generations was a bit of a push. The whole Nexus thing, I was like, okay, it's just an excuse to get an old original series character back into the action. So I'm kind of okay with him not being there, but at a push.
But this is called What
I
If.
know. What if he did come back? If it's William Shatner, which obviously it would have been, it's going to have some kind of level of action in it for him. Some kind of fisticuffs. He's got to fight somebody. So when's it? I don't know. It literally could have been anywhere, couldn't it? He could have.
I have a couple of.
What about Allegiance?
Go ahead, Joe.
What about Allegiance? Where Captain Picard gets kidnapped by those aliens and put in the prison cell, and there's the Nausicaan, there's the Schiabolian ensign or cadet, and there's the other alien guy with the purple face.
Blue guy.
Is he blue or purple? Or
yeah, I thought he was blue.
So instead of pick one of them, not Captain Picard, and insert Captain Kirk instead, because they have that power. And that's I don't really know how that works, but he has to fight the Nausicaan. Or does that work?
Oh yeah.
Maybe. And it's Captain.
So in this case, you would replace Picard with
Not
Kirk.
necessarily. I think Captain Picard has to be there as the voice of reason and somebody that's kind of centered and a good leader and knows how to get everybody out.
But that they would pull like Captain Picard and then like Admiral Kirk along with the others and have them in the room held captive.
Yes. Somehow.
Yes, I like that.
Or
Yeah, that would be a great episode. Oh my gosh, I want to see that now.
Or could we have, Kevin, you mentioned Nagilum earlier. Could, when the Enterprise gets captured by Nagilum, they discover, a bit like they discover Scotty on the Genolan on the surface of the Dyson Sphere, could they discover Captain Kirk has been like captured and tortured by Nagilum for 100 and something years, and they have to rescue him and also escape Nagilum?
Oh, I like that too. Kirk could definitely fit in. Definitely. Yes.
What about you guys? What do you think?
Well, I want to go a bit of a different way. So I'm not sure how we get Kirk to the 24th century, but I would love to see sort of classic era Kirk on the Enterprise when they have to go to Kronos and Picard becomes the arbiter of secession, right? So here is a decorated Starfleet officer taking part in a major Klingon ritual. Would Kirk lose his mind? Like, how would a 23rd century early Kirk deal with the détente that the Federation and the Klingon Empire have created? And to have Picard representing Worf, to even have Worf on the ship, would if Kirk, say there was some kind of time crazy thing and Kirk just randomly showed up there, would he immediately draw his phaser because there's a Klingon on the bridge? You know, I would love to see a story where Kirk really can't wrap his head around the fact that the Klingons are allies during this time.
Because he's never trusted Klingons, and he never will. He'll never forgive him for the death of his son.
Almost right up to Star Trek 6.
Even in Star Trek 6, and Spock was kind of doing that whole thing that Spock did with the Alliance and the dismantling of the star bases along the neutral zone, and yeah. Mm-hmm.
You could do the same kind of premise with the Romulans and have a younger Kirk show up during unification, where Spock is working to try to get the Romulans and the Vulcans back together, right? Would a storyline like that blow a young Kirk's mind too? Like, these people are our enemies. They killed so many of us, you know? Putting Kirk into a situation where former enemies are now friends, I think could be a really fascinating storyline. And I'm sure there is a book somewhere that must have that kind of a storyline in it. Justin, I'm sure you can tell us if
that's a really interesting thought. Are you... See if you've been... I suppose my brain is thinking about if you have been involved in a war. Like, say, like a World War II veteran or any veteran from any war. Do they automatically forever hate the people or the country or the people from that country that they were at war with?
We had storylines like that on Star Trek. O'Brien and his hatred of the Cardassians. So
I wonder if that's true in real life, though. Does the old people that fought in World War II, do they hate Germans? I don't think so.
It definitely exists. I mean, after 9/11, any Arab, like, it was demonized so heavily. And I think there's still a lot of people that inherently do not trust because of that one event that, you know, changed the world, and just how people responded and didn't separate those who did the act versus an entire portion of the world, you know?
No, that's true. There's definitely there was an attempted terrorist attack in London a few years ago, and a member of the public intervened, and the tagline became, you ain't no Muslim, bro. Which was positive. It was like, if you attempt any kind of terrorist attack or attack anybody, then you're not acting in the way that your religion says that you should act. So it means you're to tar everybody with that religious brush doesn't make sense, because if they commit crimes, then do you mean if a Christian commits crimes, then you could argue that they're not acting in a Christian way, so therefore they're not Christian.
I mean, people paint with broad brushes, and whether it's, your country or origin or your religious beliefs, people will just, nope, that's all bad.
True. Like,
I think it exists now.
I think you might be right. Like Scottish people get tarred with this brush that we're all really mean and penny pinching. But like we're not. We're known also.
You're not mean.
No, we're.
I beg to differ.
Oh, okay. You're not penny pinching.
Okay, I feel bad now.
That's true. New car, new house last year. Woot woot.
I feel uncomfortable now. You guys have been
sorry.
racist towards my people.
All done with love, Joe.
With love, yeah.
That's what you tell me.
True. No, it's so true. Hatred with love.
Yeah. Okay, so I was thinking when we would want to see Kirk, and I love what you're saying, Kevin, and I think that's really cool, and I wish I would have thought of that. But I was thinking with Kirk, he would still be an admiral in Starfleet. So what if he was the admiral that had the little creatures in conspiracy go up into his neck, and he was the one instead of Admiral gray hair, was it Quinn?
No.
Gregory Quinn.
Yeah,
No.
it was, but I'm thinking Kirk is the Dexter Remick character, and Picard and Riker have to
I'm
blow
putting
him
him
up.
as the older one.
No, Picard and Riker have to shoot him until Kirk explodes.
Oh no! No, you can't do
I am
that
not
to Jim
doing
Kirk.
that. No,
Oh,
that
that'd be
is, listeners, that is
awesome.
not my what if.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That's
wouldn't it?
Joe's what
That'd be
if.
an awesome what if.
I
though.
don't want to blow up Captain Kirk. No, that did not come out of my mouth.
Okay, you're going with the Gregory Quinn character. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, and so he was the one that was, and because he's such a bigwig in Starfleet, like it was seriously almost effective. And so then so I would just swap out that character and put in Kirk, and I think that'd be awesome.
The other thing I just thought of was one thing Kirk was known for on the original series was talking down sentient computers that seem to take over societies. So what is the next generation equivalent of that? A holodeck failure. So what if you put Kirk into a holodeck mishap episode?
Ooh, nice. Because he is good at talking to those computers and getting them to break down and malfunction.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
In fact, I actually will be using the episode, what's the second Mud one? Mud's Women. Yeah. So in there, and I'm going to be teaching it this month. Now I'm getting excited. But when the computer is, taking control and they won't allow him to leave, and Kirk tells the computer a paradox. And that's what breaks the computer, because computers are binary, yes or no. So I am lying to you. That's the paradox. Am I telling you the truth? Then I'm not lying. Am I lying to you? Then I'm telling you the truth. Like, it's awesome.
Well, no,
I love paradoxes.
No, I'm confused. I think we're going to malfunction.
Yes. But I think it would be interesting if we did have Kirk, because we got Leonard McCoy, right? He was the first one. And we got Scotty. And we got Spock. So we really did need to have Kirk, I think.
Well, he got a whole movie.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Generations was the Kirk and Picard team-up movie.
It was.
So.
Yeah. Okay. So we did get him on a movie. Yes, that's true. All right. Well, our next what if is given to us by our listener, Chris Tribuzio, and co-host of Mickey's Marvel. Hey, Chris. And he asks, what if Beverly and Picard were married in TNG? How would that affect young Wesley?
Do you know what? I honestly don't think it would have an effect. I think Picard as a father might be quite strict, but I think Wesley's upbringing, like he was a model student, he was kind of almost like really strictly parented anyway, because he didn't do anything wrong, did he? He got really good grades. He was that kind of ideal.
Except get one of his friends killed in a starship accident.
Yeah, that was.
That's his little act of rebellion.
Yeah, that was when he was a young adult and he got in with the wrong crowd, didn't he? So we'll forgive that. And that was Tom Paris anyway, so it was. Would he be any different? Would Picard? I think Picard might be more different than Wesley would be. I think that would be the biggest change. Seeing Picard as a father. I think he might still dislike children, generally. But
no, I think that would change completely. Because I think once you have a kid of your own...
But it's not his, though. It's this kind of adopted
that is true.
Son that he's learned to tolerate.
I think Wesley already saw Picard as a father figure.
Yep.
So, and he knows that his mother had a past relationship with Picard as well. And I can't see their, they knew each other. They were friends in the past. Like they knew, they didn't come into the beginning of Next Generation as blank pages to each other. They knew they had history,
I get what you're saying.
Right? So, I don't think Wesley would have taken it bad. I think he's the kind of kid who'd want to see his mother happy, and he's always looked up to Picard. So making Picard part of his actual family would be a really big deal, great thing for Wes. What would that do for Picard? I mean, he stated off the top that he wasn't a family person. But we know that's not quite true, right? And things that happened in the series affected him and changed his perspective. The episode Family or The Inner Light, those made him sort of re-examine what he wants personally. And we see that in Joe's favorite show, Star Trek Picard. Would Picard have just been a happier person on the whole if he had married Beverly earlier? Maybe the effects of The Inner Light wouldn't have hit so close to home if he already had a happy family life that was with him.
Yeah, that would change. I agree with you on that.
I have read some of the books where Picard and Beverly are married after the end of the series, and they have their own little baby. It's interesting to read Picard as that character. But I think it would have been good for the Picard Crusher family on a whole if that had happened.
So I see this. I would like, if we're doing What If, that when the show started, that they came in already married. And then we learned about, Wesley isn't his son. And sort of have that running through the story arc and sort of how Picard was responsible for his dad's death, and that can still come out, but that they start off already married. I think that would completely change the dynamic, like you're saying, with Picard, because what we have now, Picard is aloof. He separates himself. But I think if he were married to Beverly, that he would be doing more social things, like joining the poker games and having a little bit more fun in the holodeck with everyone, in part because Beverly would sort of bring him into that, and that he would participate more. So that whole dynamic would, I think, change. And I think because he would actually have even more responsibility and like protection over Wesley, I don't think Wesley would have been on the bridge as soon as he was without going through Starfleet Academy, because I don't think Picard would want to risk him being on the bridge and, you know, going on these away missions and stuff like that. So I think it would change drastically, but I think it would be very interesting to see that character arc and just, I mean, it would be fun to compare and contrast. All right, redo it and let's have Beverly and Picard married from day one.
I don't know if I'd want them from day one. I think I would like to see them get together. I'd like to see a relationship blossom over the course of the series. Again, if episodes like Family or The Inner Light spark these kinds of things, in like we know there's an attraction there right from the very beginning, because in episode 2, The Naked Now, Picard and Beverly are
flirtatious.
Super close. Flirtatious, right? So then by the time you get to Family and he's tussling with his brother and seeing the loving relationship that he's got, that sparks something in him. Then maybe you get The Inner Light, and again, that just sort of drives home, I'm missing something, I need something. There were episodes where Beverly was in jeopardy, right? Remember Me, or I had another one in my head and it's gone. Or Attached, where the two of them are like psychically linked, you know. Those were moments when we could have taken their relationship to the next step. And I think that would have been nice to see. And then on top of that, after Inner Light, wouldn't it have been nice to see Beverly dance a tap solo while Picard played the flute? It would have been a lovely family moment.
Yes.
Interestingly, that you see the effect that Inner Light had on Picard, how would that have affected the family unit that is Picard, Wesley, and Crusher, and Beverly? He's had these memories implanted of a whole lifetime with his wife and his children and his grandchildren.
That would complicate things if they were married.
Yeah.
Big time.
I was saying about the effect that the Inner Light, his lifetime on Catan, would have on his family that is Beverly and Wesley. How does living a whole other life with your wife and your kids and your grandkids and then ultimately dying, being implanted in your head, how does it affect your current real life family? Like, do you turn to Beverly and go, oh, I'm now, like, you're my second wife, essentially, and I've had children and grandchildren, and I love them dearly, and they're all very much a part of me, and now I'm changed. What does that do? I think that causes some friction, because I think as fans, we all see the Inner Light as being this hugely positive experience, but we never really see about the negative impact having kind of a whole lifetime's worth of alien memories forced on you. I think that's quite interesting. Also, there's another part about kind of Wesley being his adopted son, like when he becomes a teenager and you're not my father kind of thing. Even though you're the captain of the ship, you're not my dad, so you can't tell me what to do. Does Wesley become a bit like Mariner on lower decks? And there's a lot of friction going on there, rather than Wesley just automatically being scared of Captain Picard and yes or no, sir. Absolutely.
Going back to the Inner Light thing, it could go one of two ways. It could go the way you say, where all of a sudden Picard has this entire lifetime of memories with another person, or it could trigger in him the feeling of, I have to cherish what I have now while I've got it, because it could all go away, right? You know, I don't know how strong Picard is psychically to be able to separate that from his real life, but it could say to him, those people had a fantastic, normal life, and it was all ended. I need to cherish what I've got now, and that could include Bev and
Kevin,
Wes.
did you just question Captain Picard's like kind of strength of mind and strength of character? Kevin, he was a sim.
No, you did.
No. I think you did. You didn't know how strong he was psychically. He was assimilated by the Borg. He was tortured by Cardassians. He was like, there was so many.
Oh, for sure.
So many trials.
Well, then in that case, then, Joe, you are absolutely wrong, and Picard would not break down because of and destroy what he has, because he could separate an alien mind probe from reality and cherish the loved ones he's got.
Yeah, I don't doubt that he would be able to separate that. But it's not just him. There's two other people in this family. And Amy wants to say something, so
yes, I wanted to talk about how that would affect Beverly, because as a doctor, she would know physically that mind probe came in and that he has these experiences, and I'm sure Picard and Beverly would be talking it through, but like what strength of character and trust and love would she have to have with Picard? Because I'm sure logically, these emotions were imprinted, but emotionally, is she still going to feel jealous? Is she, because he's got this whole other life, and how is she going to do that? And how are they going to work on that together to strengthen their marriage and not have it disintegrate? Like they would both have to, she would have to it's one thing logically to understand it, but to get it into your heart and still be open to that, I think would be a very interesting character arc for her.
Yeah, you're right. I was only thinking about it from Picard's side.
Yeah,
but
you were. From
Beverly's side, it could be even worse. Because knowing that he's had an experience that she couldn't have been part of, that would be really tough.
Yeah, and that he fell in love with another woman. That would be hard to deal with. Because we see in the inner light,
did he fall in love with her,
yes.
or was Kamen in love with her, so he felt that?
Is that not the same thing?
Question. Yeah.
But there's a difference between. I would think there would be a difference between falling in love and being sort of programmed to be in love with somebody.
That's interesting. That's a whole question about how is memory, how is experience stored in your brain? If this probe restructured his brain in some way to kind of replicate exactly how it would feel naturally, to kind of go through the experience of falling in love and have those memories of that loving relationship, then there essentially would be no difference.
Exactly. No difference. I mean, he produced 2 children with another woman.
One of which was his real life son in real life non-Star Trek terms. So,
very interesting.
So listeners, unfortunately, given Kevin's rude disregard of my thoughts about the effect of the inner light would have on Captain Picard, I did my own real life what if and willed Kevin out of existence, and he's now gone. Bye, Kevin.
So we don't have to what if. What would this episode be like without Kevin? Because now we're experiencing.
We're right there. It's like a McHugh.
So, Joe, this has been a pretty impressive what if episode.
Has been, and it's been interesting as my first. I honestly didn't know what to expect. It's like that kind of thing. It can be what if, whatever. I mean, leave it entirely up to your own imagination. The wilder, the better, I say.
Yeah, and I like that there's other people, because my creativity and what ifs is very limited. And so I love talking to you guys about it, because you spark things like so many times. Joe, like when you were talking, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have this idea. So I really enjoy these mind experiments that we get to do. And I love that we all know enough about Next Generation that we can just jump seasons and episodes and still know what we're talking about.
Exactly. And I like the fact that if there's a topic like where would Captain Kirk fit in? I was like, I really don't care. It's not a question I really cared enough about to think up my own answer. So I was really relying on you and Kevin saying, oh, this and this and this, and then that could spark my imagination to think about what I found my own. So thank you.
Well, listeners, let us know what you think would happen if the Enterprise D got destroyed, if Captain Kirk showed up, or if Beverly and Picard were married. We would love to hear your thoughts.
Okay, if Captain Kirk was officiating at the Picard and Beverly's wedding as the Enterprise got destroyed.
There it is.
What if?
One episode. Bam. Hit them all.
Kaboom. Yeah. That Star Trek The Next Generation show that only lasted one episode because the ship got destroyed during a wedding. Boom.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Incoming transmission.
We'd love to hear your thoughts on today's show and hope you'll join the Facebook group Federation Council Chambers. You're welcome to start conversations with us or add any general Star Trek info you want to share with the group.
If you'd like to send us an email, you can email the network at contact@ufp.earth and we might read your email on the show.
Please hit the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a star rating and written review. That helps others to find the show. You can also follow the entire network's podcast with our master feed by searching United Federation of Podcasts. This way, you won't miss any of our fine shows like All Good Things, Franchise Fatigue, Always Hold On to Arrow, General Quarters, Mickey's Marvels, Infinite Diversity, and Trek Pod. So, Joe, where can people find you when you are about to destroy the Enterprise D?
Oh, when I'm doing that, where am I going to do that from? I think I'm going to be in engineering. Like,
not the bridge?
No, I think I'm going to have like a high-powered phaser rifle, like on maximum or set to overload, standing right beside the dilithium chamber. Ready.
Will you barrel roll out of the engine room?
No, I'm going down with the ship.
Okay, going down with the ship.
I want vaporized. Yeah. And Kevin, where can people... Oh, who's Kevin? That's right.
You need to tell us where we can find you on social media.
Damn
as
it.
well.
Then I'll go into my wee funny thing about Kevin. Okay, so... when I'm not trying to blow up the Enterprise, people can find me on the Federation Council Chambers. You can email me, joepodcasts@gmail.com, or you can tweet me on the Twitter at joeyjoe77uk. And Kevin, who's Kevin? Who's Kevin?
Who's Kevin?
I don't know.
Kevin Uxbridge?
Kevin Spacey? Are we allowed to say his name anymore?
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, Amy, where can people find you when you're not marrying Captain Picard?
Well, I would like that. That would be such a fun.
How much fun are you having?
That's the word. I know, it's
fun.
I can't think of the word.
Fun.
Not experiment.
Experience.
That would be a fun experience to be out there on a starship and having all those adventures. I'd really enjoy that. And Picard's, Patrick Stewart. He's pretty handsome.
What's to not like?
Just saying.
Yeah.
So you can find me hosting All Good Things here on the network. I am also hosting Union Federation over on the Fandom Podcast Network. You can find me on Twitter at Miss Amy Nelson. And of course, right there in the Federation Council Chambers.
Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.
If you'd like to help us keep all our shows coming to you each week, you can become a patron of the network on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/UFPearth. That's patreon.com/UFPEARTH to get all the details. We have 4 different levels starting at just $1 per month and would appreciate any support you can give us.
We had a nice patrons roundtable that I hosted last week of December. So hopefully you were able to listen to that and join us on our next one. We're going to be having them every month. So, yes. We would like to recognize our executive producers, Brandon Shea Mutella, Ken Tripp, Zach Moore, and Tony Robinson. We would also like to thank Zach Tripp for our opening and closing music, and Tony Robinson for our amazing artwork each and every week. And thank you, listeners, for beaming aboard Galaxy Class. And until next time,
I would like to see a show with Captain Jean-Luc Crusher.
great joy and gratitude.
Engage.
This has been a production of MTMR Media Works.
What was it? What's the brain defect Picard has? Iremodic syndrome?
Irematic.
Iremadic. What's Shalaft's syndrome? What's the one that he's got in Future Imperfect? Is it Future Imperfect? Where Riker's...
Yeah.
There's a...
Sun. Or the one where he's in different scenarios.
Yes. Is a... Hold on, I'm going to... Let's Google it. Scharf syndrome.
Irumodic syndrome. And Scharf syndrome
is the hypersensitivity to sound.
Sensitivity to
sound. Okay, from Nemesis.
Yeah.
Irumodic syndrome.
So he had Scharf syndrome.
But it got cured.
In real life. And Irumodic syndrome. Yeah, he was diagnosed with that.
Yeah, but that's the one that is... Mind the scene in Picard with his old doctor friend from the Stargazer?
And delusions.
Yes. And that's Irumodic, and he has Irumodic syndrome. Yeah. Which is the one from...
But they never used that word in Picard, which was annoying.
Yes.
Because they just sort of hem-hawed around that word.
That's right. So that's the one from All Good Things, Irumodic syndrome, which is mentioned, but not by name, in Picard.
Right.
That doctor from the Stargazer, that should have been Beverly. Shouldn't it?
Wait, say that again?
The doctor from Picard, his old friend from the Stargazer, should have been Beverly. Shouldn't it?
Well, she's not an expert.
But it's not about who's right for the job. It's about fan service.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it's about.
No, really. I think that's what a lot of Star Trek has become. Fan service. Like, yeah.